This week on Pitt Beyond the Script.
Again, better now than in ACC play because the goals are still out there for us.
The University of Pittsburgh, without the people inside of Pittsburgh, there is no Trey Tipton. So I'm very thankful and dedicated and honestly grateful for everything that's been given to me while I've been here.
Oh, competitors. The energy of the team is good. It's a team that believes, we match up with anyone.
All this and more on this edition of Pitt Beyond the Script.
Recognize these colors we're wearing. Understand, this is what Pittsburgh's built on. Everybody in this city understands, if you're from Pittsburgh, you know what those colors mean. Championships, football, baseball, legends, all right? Legends.
Sent it in, Jerome! A diving catch for a touchdown!
We are locked in, okay, together. There's gonna be ups and downs. We must play together. Focus and discipline, okay? Don't forget the discipline.
Yeah, baby! What a win! Yeah, baby! Hail to Pitt!
We understand what that means. That's for Pittsburgh.
Valentin Noel just can't stop scoring.
Let's go, bring it in. 1, 2, 3, win!
Pickett from his 33 wants to throw it. Long down the field, a man open on his way, 25-20. It's Addison to the 15-10, touchdown. 67 yards on the first play of the second series, and the Panthers are on the board.
Hello and welcome to Pitt Beyond the Script alongside head coach Pat Narduzzi. I'm Rob King of AT&T Sportsnet. Coach, let's start by looking back to the Western Michigan game. After the game, you said you wanted to look at some tape before you made any final evaluations. What did looking at the tape show you?
Yeah, Rob, I mean, what you see is you didn't play good enough to win, in really in all three phases, if you want to say. I thought we had a great week of practice. You look at the tape and, you can't beat anybody, whether it's a national championship team or a Mid-American Conference team or whoever it is, or New Hampshire coming in this weekend with really 3 real turnovers, 2 on downs, 5 total. And you don't stop the run on defense and you can't run the ball on offense. I mean, it comes down to that. And wasn't happy with the way we ran the ball. Wasn't happy with the way we stopped the run. When you look at it, maybe we gave up some RPOs and, they put you in one-on-one situations. And, I thought Eric Halp did a pretty good job back there. 3 big plays were, 1 in 4 minute, a run and a 4-minute drill, which they're going to run the ball. So everybody should be locked into that. And then we give up 2 passes, only 5 explosives on defense. And one was, Brandon Hill knocks out our safety instead of knocking out the guy with the ball. And, we got a corner fall down on another route. And it's like, what do you do? I mean, you can't coach falling down and you can't coach some of those things just don't happen very often. And it was, if it could happen or go wrong, it seemed to do that Saturday. And we got to coach against it. It was just one of those days.
The action fake. Pickett wants to throw it. He does down middle of the field. Krell, touchdown on a somersault. Hit at the 1-yard line by the defender, and Krell flips into the end zone.
Well, we'll talk about some of the things the team might do against New Hampshire coming up in a little bit, but I wanted to ask you about Kenny Pickett passes Dan Marino for second all-time in passing yardage in Pitt history. Anytime you're passing Dan Marino, that's an unbelievable honor.
Yeah, no question about it. And it's funny, I didn't know that until you mentioned it to me before we came on the set here, because I had no idea. But no, that's incredible. Dan Marino's a legend, Hall of Famer in all respects, and for Kenny to do what he's done, I'm sure Dan's happy about it in a way because it's an honor to see his Pitt team and a quarterback that's was where he was at one point, doing so well at that spot. But on the other one, would like to get a win, and I don't go read all that stuff. I had no idea. EJ didn't tell me. And again, those are all stats that really don't matter. The only one matters that win, and we didn't get it done.
Pickett under duress, throws it for the goal line, touchdown, and that's Mr. Addison. Thank you very much. From 28 out, he was wide open.
I did want to ask about a couple guys in the passing game. Jordan Addison, Lucas Kroll. Addison with 3 touchdowns, Kroll with 2 touchdowns. Addison Pickett remains a tremendous combination, and we've seen Lucas Kroll obviously healthy now, what he can do on the field for you.
Yeah, Lucas is doing a great job in the passing game. I'm happy with that. Can still do a better job in the run game if he wants to play at the next level. But some of those catches he had down the end zone, those were spinning them around. Those were some big time tight end catches. That's what they do in the NFL. They make them like that. So that's what he looked like. And Jordan Addison is Jordan Addison. That's what he's done since he got here a year ago. He makes plays. I think Kenny underthrew him a little bit even on the first play of the game. Could have been 6, but he had to slow down for it. And Kenny's playing at a high level and he's got some targets out there.
To his right, Ellaby gets the snap. He's back. He's hit and he's sacked inside the 40. Big sack for Baldonado.
On the defensive side, Habit Baldonado continues to really elevate his game.
He really does. Haba's playing good. He's had the most practice. He's hungry. He's in here late in the office, watching videotape it late at night. He's put in the work like a Patrick Jones and a Rashad Weaver. And I think anytime you put the work in like that, the mental work is as much as the physical work. You can go out in the field and practice and never watch a lick of tape, but Haba's putting the work on both ends.
We're going to look forward to New Hampshire. Still a lot for this Pitt team to play for. We're going to be concentrating on that when we resume a little bit later on Pitt Beyond the Script.
Yeah, we'll see how tough we are, right? When things are smooth sailing, it's easy. So now we, have a loss that we should have won. Hats off to Western Michigan. They played well. They came in ready. We knew they would. But we'll see what we're about.
Keep calm. Woo, 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 woo. And carry on.
Are you paying attention?
No, I'm admiring my gun.
The Bradshaws are taking the field for a new season.
The fun has begun.
Let the games begin!
And the whole family is bringing their A-game.
Happy. You got it.
Okay, thanks.
Focus.
An all-new season of The Bradshaw Bunch premieres October 6th on E! And stream all of last season on Peacock.
Last year was unique.
It was odd not hearing the fans in the stands.
I can't wait for this year to start. Let's return the Hines,
The band,
the crowd,
the hits, the big hits.
the college game day, the scrambles, the big catches,
The sacks, the celebrations.
one more dive to the pylon.
When you're ready to buy a home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. You can find new listings before they appear anywhere else and refine your search for immediate notifications of similar properties. Plus, get pre-qualified to make your offer stronger and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent who knows your area and how to close the deal. So when you're ready to buy, visit howardhanna.com and find your home fast.
Seventh-year super senior Trey Tipton has fought a lot of adversity throughout his career. He's faced multiple injuries that have sidelined him, but he's struggled with some things off the field that are far greater than any injury anyone could have. Coming up, Trey invites you to hear about those things, how he fought through them, and how he now has turned his attention to helping others who faced the same struggles.
Man, I haven't been back to that bridge since the day of. It's a lot of pressure going back to that bridge that I don't even know on how I'm gonna react.
Next one here is Trey Tipton, wide receiver from Apollo Ridge High School. The thing that's special about him, not only does he have great speed and all that, but looks like a very great route runner, a guy that just lights up every room that he walks in.
Freshman year, yeah, I came with a lot of baggage, man. I had a lot of things sitting on my chest, sitting on my back. At the time, I was starting and playing and being very involved into the system, so I was very happy with where I was at. And then the third game of the season, I ended up spraining my PCL, my LCL, and now the one thing that I used to look forward to, that used to keep me sane, is now out of my hands and gone. Then that's when I start to look at myself and say I'm worthless. I was so deep in my own depression, there was no coming out. Man, I ended up doing some things to myself and the people around me that I would never ever wish upon anybody. I felt so alone because nobody understood me and I didn't expect anybody to understand me. But the one thing I did understand was that I wanted the pain to stop. And then my final attempt was at a bridge, very close to Heinz Field. I was staring at the water and I started moving my feet and preparing myself to jump. I heard something say to me that you're not ready yet. I took my shirt off, dropped it into the water, and I told myself that would be it. I wasn't gonna go back to that. From this day forward, I'm going to be somebody better than I've ever been, no matter what it takes.
Shotgun snap, throwing for the goal line, and that pass is caught. Touchdown, and that is Trey Tipton.
Played 9 games, was loving it. I vowed to myself that I was a new person. On the 9th game against the University of Miami, I'm coming across the middle to catch the ball.
The receiver shaken up, Trey Tipton.
That was life-changing because now I'm put in a position where I thought that I was going to improve from the time when I was suicidal, and now I'm actually playing with life and death. And it's not by my own decision. And then these group of nurses changed my life completely. They never came in with a negative vibe. They never came in with not a smile on their face. So I vowed to myself that if they're able to smile with seeing these people living like this every single day, there is no reason that I cannot make them smile every single time they see me. I could feel my thoughts kind of transitioning over to, I don't want to be alive. And I started to remember the things that those nurses were saying to me in the hospital back in 2016, when I was like, you know what? I'm going to be the strongest, the most positive person I've ever been in my life.
And he sat, he prayed, his faith got stronger, and he wanted to make sure that other athletes had that same help.
He understands his gift, and his gift is always showing love to people. And ironically, that's the name of his organization, because that really does embody him.
I created an organization. It's called LOVE, standing for Living Out Victoriously Every Day. So the goal of the organization was to bring student athletes together to be able to talk about their differences that they've gone through.
The important part of it is you have to find any kind of victory in your life. Even if it's a small victory, it's a victory.
When he decided to come back and play the 2020 season, I said, listen, if you come back, you're going to stay healthy. You're not getting hurt. You're going to finish the year. He made it through the entire 2020 season. We hope to get that through 21 as well.
Without the University of Pittsburgh, without the people inside of Pittsburgh, there is no Trey Tipton. So I'm very thankful and dedicated and honestly grateful for everything that's been given to me while I've been here. The reason why I'm able to be successful and able to even be here in this moment as we speak is the fact that the city of Pittsburgh has given me the opportunity, and God has also blessed me with the opportunity.
Stick together, attitude and effort all day long, okay? And we go Pitt tough.
When you're ready to buy a home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. You can find new listings before they appear anywhere else and refine your search for immediate notifications of similar properties. Plus, get pre-qualified to make your offers stronger and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent who knows your area and how to close the deal. So when you're ready to buy, visit howardhanna.com and find your home fast.
I love being home. Keep calm. Woo, 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 woo. And carry on.
Are you paying attention?
No, I'm admiring my gun.
The Bradshaws are taking the field for a new season.
The fun has begun.
Let the games begin!
And the whole family is bringing their A-game.
Happy. You got it.
Okay, thanks.
Focus.
An all-new season of The Bradshaw Bunch premieres October 6th on E! And stream all of last season on Peacock.
A touchdown for the Panthers. Valentin Noel just can't stop scoring. With authority.
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh my God.
Kate McKay at the back post.
An absolute bomb from David Yanni.
This defensive line is stacked.
The Panthers are heading to the regional finals.
Listen to a podcast that I may or may not send to Chi. His single biggest advice was to give compliments more. Where's Anastasia? You are hitting a lot harder, more consistently. Keep it up. Valeria Vasquez-Gomez, doing a great job. What we call small ball, but just in general, keeping the ball off the floor. Okay, and just a lot of balls that we think are going down, you find a way to keep them up with control. The energy of the team is good. It's a team that believes, we match up with anyone and believes we can win. Alexis, even these kind of drills, as you run towards the ball, I don't want you to practice. Yeah, either distance this way or go to your knee. I don't think it's good practice to run and drop your hands for you. Clean sets, Ash. We're not getting what we want out of this drill, okay? Maybe it's helping our defensive trans, maybe it's helping our covering. How's our offensive trans? Okay, maybe too good sometimes, but we're still transing when someone's diving and digging the ball. We've been in a lot of five-setters and on the road a lot, and so there's been a little bit of a mental grind, and so some of our early week practices could be a little better, and so that's kind of the challenge for us right now is how do we be as good on Tuesday as we are on Friday, Saturday. Oh, competitors! Fierce competitors over there. It's wonderful to have experienced players and good leaders. The challenge that the coaching staff has issued is not just to kind of fall in like, hey, I'm sitting in the back of the classroom, mode because we have experienced players. And so we're just really trying to be conscious of developing a whole team of leaders. We want to keep developing the leadership qualities of all our players. By all of us staying hungry to learn. If I'm hungry to get better as a coach and they're hungry to get better at, their craft, we're gonna be fine.
Gabe started playing football when he was 6 years old. It was fun, it was teamwork, but it was also hanging with his friends. He got to tackle people and he loved it. And 16 years later, here we are, still watching him play football every Saturday. I think about the day when you commit. He was the first one to call in.
Gabe.
Your life right there.
Hey man, congratulations. First one in.
It was such an exciting moment, and there was a news crew there to talk to him afterwards. To play for his hometown was huge. Now I went to Pitt, my husband went to Pitt, and when he saw the campus, the facility, to see where they would practice, the type of facility it is, he had a great rapport with the coaches. I was so happy and blessed that he picked Pitt. We get there 3 hours in advance so we can watch the Panther prowl and be there for the pregame festivities. And we have family with us, and all of us have on our number 57. So to watch him out there and doing his job, and I know he has a lot of long-lasting friendships from being on this team. Hi, I'm Lori Hoy, a proud Pitt football mom.
An unseasonable cold night greeted the Gator Bowl opponents on December 29, 1980. A marquee matchup was anticipated between South Carolina Heisman Trophy running back George Rogers versus Pitt's Lombardi Trophy victor Hugh Green. On the first carry of the game, Rogers fumbled and set Pitt up with good field position. A catch by Willie Collier, followed by a QB sneak from Rick Tricano, put the Panthers ahead early. On this night, the nationally ranked defense came to play.
Let's take a look and see why he is everybody's All-American.
So much is said and written about Hugh Green, you tend to forget about 87 Jackson.
A terrific football player.
Dan Marino also got into the action with this TD pass. 2 Randy McMillan touchdowns later, and the route was on. The Panthers finished the season 11-1 and ranked number 2 in the country.
Hugh Green, in a word, devastation.
One of the things I remember about Hugh was his great ability to keep blockers off his legs. You don't see too many players with that innate ability.
And not a real big fellow, but he had quickness and he was an excellent tackler.
Natural strength. I don't think Hugh was much into weightlifting, but he had great biceps. He had so much upper body strength.
Green was on the cover of Sports Illustrated with the headline, "Baddest Cat in the Game." He was sitting there in his blue Pitt jersey with his arms folded and a black panther in the background. And that said, Pitt was the preseason #1 team that year in 1980 by Sports Illustrated.
And over his 4-year career, he collected 49 quarterback sacks. Basically, he lived in the other team's backfield, and he really broke ground when he was the runner-up for the Heisman in 1980. His second-place finish was the highest for a purely defensive player.
He got ripped off. He should have won the Heisman Trophy. There was no better college player in that senior year than Hugh Green.
Just tremendous explosiveness and speed, and just the spearhead of the great teams that Pitt had during the late 70s, early 80s.
Roger Houston was the PA announcer, the famed Meadows harness announcer. And he had that thing where he said, "Hugh Green," you know, and the crowd would get into it, and those were fun days. They really were.
It's no coincidence that the most dominant defensive player in Pitt history played on some of the most dominant teams in Pitt football history.
Stick together, attitude and effort all day long, okay? And we go Pitt tough.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Being home.
Last year was unique. It was odd not hearing the fans in the stands.
I can't wait for this year to start.
Let's return to Hines. The band.
The crowd.
The hits. The big hits.
The college game day.
The scrambles. The big catches.
The sacks.
The celebrations.
One more dive to the pylon.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, Jordan asked him to get the snap and then he should throw it to you for a touchdown.
I agree. I want to catch another touchdown. I agree.
You can draw it up. You can draw it up like that. You know, number 3, put the quarterback in there.
We should make them fumble and hit them hard.
Yeah!
Be New Hampshire. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Be New Hampshire! All right, buddy.
Pickett rolling right, throws for the end zone, touchdown, Lucas Kroll. Zaire Barnes was beaten on the play, and this is a strike from Pickett to his tight end.
Welcome back to Pitt Beyond the Script. Okay, Coach, obviously disappointment in the loss. However, how can you use that to maybe refocus the team, take a positive out of it if you can, and get ready for a New Hampshire team that's a good FCS team and wants to come in here and pull an upset?
Yeah, there's no question, and it's a good football team coming in. I think anytime you get, punched, last week I told everybody, hey, great job, nice win against Tennessee. And this week it's all kind of like, hey, doom and gloom. So I think that's a wake-up call in itself, and it's a hard way to wake up. You wish you'd have to get it the normal way, and you understand and you believe in what we're trying to get to you. But I think the wake-up call has come. And, I don't think anybody wants to go through the misery of a loss. Nobody likes them, coaches, players. administrative assistants. Nobody likes it, and to me, that's the wake-up call. And again, better now than in ACC play because the goals are still out there for us.
Exactly. We're going to talk about that in a moment, but I did want to mention a couple things about New Hampshire. First of all, as you look at the structure of a team, Sean McDonald, their head coach, has been there for over 2 decades. Can you tell when you're looking at a tape, and I know things change from year to year, there's different personnel, but can you tell when a guy's been there for a while? Is there a certain sense of structure you can see on tape when a coach has been there for over 20 years?
Yeah, obviously Sean's a great coach, and he's been there a long time, but I don't know if the time gets you that, but again, he's a tough guy, they're a tough team. And I think that's what you get out of that football team. You see the type of players they recruit. They recruit tough guys. They got talent, all over the field. Their skill guys are good. Their quarterback is talented, even though he's the backup. He makes a lot of plays. He breaks the pocket. He's a scrambler. It looks like Fran Tarkington out there. He can move around.
Edwards takes it. Going up top to Coyne. The strike! Edwards to Coyne! Touchdown, New Hampshire!
Yeah, they don't, 2 things that occur to me. They don't turn the ball over very much. He hasn't thrown an interception yet, 7 touchdowns for Brett Edwards, our quarterback. And their defense, which is stingy, they gave up a long kickoff return, but they've been holding their opponents to very few points, and they've been creating a lot of turnovers. So they don't turn it over, and they force turnovers. So that alone can make them a dangerous opponent.
No question about it. I mean, they play together as a team. They do their job, and they don't turn it over into getting turnovers. That's a major recipe for success, and we would have had success this past weekend if we had, had that recipe.
Towson opting to go for it. We need a spark. Miller throws into traffic. There was only one man to be found, Evan Horn, his 2nd pick of the night.
And FCS teams, when they're playing up, there's 2 things they always say. Well, this game, this isn't going to define our season because we're going to get back to our conference play. The Colonial Athletic Association is one of the top conferences in the FCS ranks. We're going to get back to that. Does that allow them to play free and easy? And we see every year FCS teams upsetting FBS teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's no different than the MAC. I mean, they're going to come in and play the game of the year, which they did. They played sharp. And New Hampshire's going to come in the same thing. They got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So they'll come in here, with their ears pinned back, and you got to worry about fake field goals and fake punts, as well as any trick play they've got, and they've got a lot of them.
He's grateful to have football back in his life. Dylan Laube the run, breaks inside the 20, tight ropes the sideline. Touchdown Wildcats!
And you touched on this briefly, but I want to finish things off with this. Yes, you didn't want to lose that game to Western Michigan, but all your goals still are within sight. Can you refocus the team on the fact that, listen, winning an ACC championship is our ultimate goal, and get them focused on there are still some positive things here left throughout the course of the season?
Yeah, I think they all understand that, and I'll say the same thing after an ACC loss. You're still in the game. I mean, there's a lot of games to play in the season. Rather be a non-conference than an ACC loss. So I think our kids understand that, and we've all been there. We won a Big Ten championship, lost to Notre Dame early, played terrible against South Florida, played terrible against Youngstown State. My daughter was like, "Dad, at least we'll be able to go home for Christmas." And then all of a sudden we win a Big Ten championship. We're playing, Stanford in the Rose Bowl. So I mean, there's always been those things, but that happened to us, I think, 3rd game of the season, and then we go 13-1. That's the only loss of the year, and that's kind of the mentality.
Coach, thanks very much for your time. Good luck this week against New Hampshire, and let's get another victory for the Panthers.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
All right, and thanks to you for watching this edition of Pitt Beyond the Script.
Pickett with a shotgun snap. Looks over the middle of the field. There's a touchdown. Pickett hits Jalen Barden, the young man from Lazella, Georgia, with his first career touchdown.